Bulelani, very good morning to you. And can you tell us, the nation is in waiting, but are we likely to have an uninterrupted 2016 State of the Nation address compared to last year?
Well, good afternoon to you. Basically today, there has been much talk of that, but of course at this stage, it's anybody's guess as to what will transpire tonight. But I think now what is important is that Parliament is busy preparing for an uninterrupted, State of the Nation address. Outside, people are still putting the final touches to some of the decor as well as some of the issues that they need to deal with so that everything runs smoothly. But of course, the man that has been behind that, doing all those preparations since months ago, is the Secretary to Parliament, Mr. Gengezi Mgidlana, who now joins us here in the studio. Mr. Mgidlana, it's a D-Day today, one of the biggest days of the parliamentary calendar year. How are the state of preparedness going?
Good morning, Bulelani, and good morning to the viewers. Well, we have been hard at work since last September, October, doing preparations for the State of the Nations. We do this event as a state event comprising of all the arms, meaning we engage with colleagues in the judiciary, those who are in the administrative side. We engage with colleagues in the executive at all the various levels of the state. The province is involved, local government is involved. So we have been doing serious planning to the detail around what should happen today. We feel very comfortable and very confident around the plans that have been made. We have done 2 rehearsals already. There were rehearsals that were done yesterday, which were real-time rehearsals, and we did others, that is the other rehearsals, the previous day, basically to make sure that we have dotted the I's, and across the T's. So in that regard, we feel very confident that we'll be able to host such a momentous occasion for South Africa that everybody is looking forward to.
Just for the benefit of people who probably will be seeing the State of the Nation for the first time this year, can you just take us through the procession when the first bands come up until the President delivers his State of the Nation address?
Well, first and foremost is that the event is convened by the President as the head of state and the head of government. So you will have the 3 arms of the state there. Then you have various formations of civil society invited, business, religious leaders, various community leaders, universities, and so forth, and eminent people. Then you would also have ambassadors present. So what we are expecting to begin around about 3 o'clock or so for the guests to stream in into Parliament so that they are then able to be seated and basically find their place in and around the National Assembly where the event will be taking place. That will be followed by the ambassadors and the high commissioners who will then also arrive here in Parliament, escorted by their own drivers who will then deliver them here and then will cater for them. We have the 2 House chairpersons that will be looking at that. The House chairperson of the National Assembly, Meboroto, and House chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Medihale, who will be looking after those guests. We'll also then be having premiers from the provinces and the speakers from the provinces who will also be arriving. Those premiers will also then, we will look after them with the secretary to the NCOP, basically looking after the premiers. And then you would have the members of the judiciary streaming in. You would have the eminent people also being there, the civil guard, the schools are also involved so that we engage young people in understanding and following up the issues of democracy. Then you have former presiding officers and former presidents and deputy presidents that will then arrive. Then it's the time for the Deputy President and, the person himself, the President of the Republic of South Africa, who will then arrive so that we can then start with the business of the day. He will, of course, be received by the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, who are the gracious hosts of today's event. On our side, we basically serve as those people who put the nuts and bolts, make sure that everything is organized in a proper fashion. People have been invited, they know what to do. work with the various arms of the state, local government, provinces, the province, in order to make sure that we have a very good event. We feel confident that we have done all that is possible and that is expected by South Africans for such an event.
Now, there's two issues that has been talked about, particularly in the media. 3 protests have been approved by the city of Cape Town outside of Parliament, and also the talk about some political parties who insist that they will pose questions to the president if it doesn't address the issues that they feel needs to be addressed in the State of the Nation address. Now, as Parliament, are you prepared for those eventualities?
Well, South Africa has a beautiful constitution which has a Bill of Rights, and part of the Bill of Rights basically guarantees the right to freedom of expression. And that freedom of expression is exercised today by those parties that have been granted permission to either march or basically deliver a memorandum and so forth. So that is part and parcel of the beautiful democracy that we have in this country. And of course, Parliament embraces that, and it embraces it within the the confines of the law, and hopefully then that the processes will unfold properly. When you come to the issues of the House, you would know that parties have been hard at work. Last year, the whole of last year, the rules have been reviewed. The joint rules that specifically deal with this particular kind of sitting have been reviewed and agreed to in November by both houses. The houses are also reviewing individually their own rules in order to improve the way in which we work. Now, the important thing about that is that these are parties themselves doing this, right? All the parties represented in Parliament engage in this particular exercise, agree on a particular way of doing things, and they have consensus. Now, we have a situation, of course, where the House has passed by a majority what the rules that will be applicable in this regard for a joint sitting. And we really are confident that parties who have worked on these particular rules, will cooperate in making sure that we have a successful event. So we have no other expectation other than that.
Before I let you go, will you take any points of orders or any points of privilege in the House?
Well, the rules currently, the way they stand, they provide for that. But they are also very clear that today's business is about the state of the nation. So really, if you look at issues of points of order and points of privilege, they will be related to when you have a debate, some of them. If you are raising them in this particular context of today, you would have to really carefully craft that, which from our perspective, the immediate perspective, administratively, of course, we can foresee how that can happen. But of course, this is democracy at work. Parties engage, with the process as a political process, of which we in the administration are not part and parcel of that. All we do is to make sure that the stage has been set. We make sure that the support is there, that is required. We make sure that that which is done within the confines of the rules and our constitution. And we have done all the necessary arrangements in that regard.
Right, Mr. Gengezi Mgidlana, the Secretary to Parliament, outlining some of the issues and processions that will be undertaken as the day goes on until President Jacob Zuma delivers his State of the Nation address at 7 o'clock this evening. On that note, Elvis, it's back to you in the studio.